My first guests on Just Another Way to Waste 60 Minutes are from Keeping the Flame Alive. Chris Dean is a storyteller, spoken word artist, and self-proclaimed magpie poet who writes from the heart of Indiana where they live with their husband, dog, and too many cats to mention. Along with Wendy Cartwright, Chris is co-founder of Keeping the Flame Alive Press. Their work has been featured online in print anthologies, and they are the author of 2 books of poetry, Tales from a Broken Girl and We're All Stories in the End, published by Storylines Press. And Wendy Cartwright is a poet, author, photographer, reporter, columnist, weirdo, among other things, out of Columbus, Indiana. Her travels have taken her as far as the Mayan ruins and as near as the filling station. Her undiscerning tastes allow her to find creative fodder regardless of location. She has been published in various print anthologies and featured in online publications. She has also self-published 4 books and has another on the way. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my first guests. Hey guys, welcome to the show.
Hey.
Hey.
Wendy Cartwright, all the way from Columbus, Indiana, right? Both from Columbus.
Yep.
Both from Keeping the Flame Alive. And Wendy, what's going on?
Oh goodness, what's going on? Keeping the Flame Alive. We just put out the 8th magazine, the submission-based literary magazine. It doesn't have a schedule really, just when we get around to it. But I personally had just had 2 articles published in Indie South magazine. As a surprise, I just had 2 more picked up for the summer issue. I am almost done with this semester of school. I go to IU Columbus. I major in literature, minor in women's studies. Other than that, my hobby of writing poetry, taking pictures, stuff like that.
And Chris is, of course, the co-editor of Keeping the Flame Alive. Chris, what's going on with you today?
Not much. I was inspired by our first failed interview, I guess is a good way to put it. It wasn't a failed interview, just the recording. So I have spent the day working on an actual website since, Wendy's got her own, damn it.
Do you have a website, Chris?
It's not live yet, but I am working on magpie.com or magpiepoet.com.
Magpie, like the bird?
Yes.
Magpiepoet.com?
Yes.
So yeah, just so everybody watching this later understands, this is my first time like doing any kind of podcasting interview, Zooming stuff in like a couple of years since my old podcast. And this interview and another one, 2 out of the 5 I did for the show got screwed up, probably because of my own ineptitude. But so I had to talk Chris and Wendy and bribe them. It was rough, but they agreed to come back and try it one more time. So, so you got a website, Chris. What's going on? You've got a reading coming up. We've all got a reading coming up on the 24th. We'll get to that soon. But what's going on with your personal writing and poetry, Chris?
I've been participating, not necessarily posting, but in the 30 for 30 with National Poetry Month. Keeping the Flame Alive is producing a poetry night of poetry and music that features the National Beat Poet Laureate of Sweden, Bengt O. Björklund, and U.S. National Lifetime Beat Poet Laureate Ron Whitehead. And it also features Tommy Bays and Katrina. Oh, my brain just. Wendy?
Harper.
Thank you. My brain just shut down. Katrina Harper. And that is at Mickey's Coffee Shop and Books in New Albany on the 30th of April.
Man, that's pretty cool. How long did it take you to learn how to say Bork's name?
I had the absolute pleasure of meeting him last August in Connecticut, and I think I repeated it probably 20 times, and I'm still not saying it right.
Wendy, talk to me a little bit. Keeping the flame alive. Uh, I've been kind of describing it as a small indie publisher and group of do-gooders. But seriously, you guys have done a lot more than just publish books and magazines. So talk. Where did Keeping the Flame Alive come from?
Uh, as it says on our website, Keeping the Flame Alive was one maniacal poet who approached a second maniacal poet, and it blew up. We started publishing one page front and back pamphlet style publication. We were going to do it every other month, but that didn't work out. And then the second issue was 4 pages front and back pamphlet folded, and that quickly changed into a folded chapbook. Now it's a full page chapbook. So anyway, we've done 8 issues of that. It started last May, so this May will be a full year. We hired. We are on the 4th book, working on getting it published, of the Keeping the Flame Alive book series. They are bound books published by Amazon. The first one was by Ron Whitehead, Beat Poet Laureate. The second one was Debbie Siegel from Berkeley, California. The third was Peter Kaczmarczyk from Bloomington, Indiana. And this fourth one will be Rita Spalding from Louisville. We do website development, management. Chris is a master of graphic design. We do events. We just do whatever needs done so that we can, hopefully help poets get their voices out there.
So Chris, who was maniacal poet number one that had the idea?
Which came first, the chicken or the egg?
So let me ask. How many printers have you gone through printing the anthology?
We have destroyed 5 printers.
So
And a computer.
and
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
If there were poets and artists and writers watching this later, and they were thinking about making their own home printed magazine or newspaper thing, like you guys have kind of like grown and learned to do, what would be your first piece of advice for them?
Don't do it ever. No, get a decent printer. But I know that people don't have that kind of money. So, use that payment plan where you buy those cheap ones for like $49 for 5 months in a row, and then lose your mind, and then buy a good one. That's what I would say.
Chris?
My advice would be fake it till you make it. Exactly what we've been doing. If you don't know how to do it, find a workaround. Who cares about the right way, wrong way? Just go for it. You can regret the dead printers later.
Is there a wrong way to make a homemade zine and magazine, though?
No, absolutely
Nope.
not.
I think that's the beauty. And that's one of the things I love so much about like homemade anything really, but especially like books. It's like they're so unique, they're so different, they come in so many different forms. And there's not really a wrong way to, working with Keeping the Flame Alive. How has that impacted your work as artists?
It's made me not stop. It's made me care about more than myself, and that's Chris's fault. Because I didn't do that very well before. It's given me more integrity. and better drive at all of it. And it's made me more adaptable, I guess, because things haven't worked and we've changed them. And if things don't work, we change them again. So I don't know. I've learned a lot.
Yeah. Chris, how has that impacted your work?
So Wendy and I are both somewhat of control freaks. So working somewhat, just a little, but working on keeping the flame alive with her has been huge, has been actually a huge lesson in personal growth, because it's not just me and what my concept of perfection is anymore, and we see the world similar but differently, and we talk a lot, and we do the same with poetry, and it's actually really expanded my horizons, because she's helped me see that my narrow vision of what is perfect and right is not the only vision out there. So I think it has made me grow a hell of a lot, not just as a poet, but as a person and a friend.
Nice.
And that's your fault, Wendy.
I'll
Hey,
take that.
listen, I'm not a smart man and I don't give a lot of advice, but one thing I know for a fact is happiness is knowing who to blame. Like that. April 24th, in Seymour, Indiana. Keeping the Flame Alive is hosting I think, a heck of a shindig, really. Chris, tell us about that a little bit.
So, I really got to know Tommy Bays at Insomniacathon last year. We had collaborated on a piece, and ever since, he has been talking about wanting to do an evening of collaborations with different poets. So I asked him, who is your dream team to work with? And what we have is Tommy Bays and Katrina Harper, both members of the Storm Generation band, with Tony Brewer, Walden Quinn Caesar, Wendy Cartwright, myself, you, Dan Denton, Michael Duckwall, Tyler Frederick, Peter Kesmarchek, Wesley Penland, April Ridge, Rita Spalding, Patty Cooper Wells, and U.S. National Lifetime Beat poet Ron Whitehead, poet laureate, sorry, Ron Whitehead, with an open mic. So it is going to be a hell of a night. And I am so excited to hear all the new voices that come to the open mic. I am so excited to hear the marrying of music with the different styles and vibes of all the different poets coming.
Heck yeah. That's at Magic Book.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's at the Magic of Books in Seymour, Indiana, from 6 to 8. And the 8's kind of open ended, if need be.
I don't want to put you guys on the spot. Yes, I do.
Uh-oh.
Want to hear you guys read a poem if you guys don't mind. It's National Poetry Month. And if you guys don't mind, I'd like to hear something. I'm sure people watching this are going to want to hear a little bit of your work. I probably should have mentioned that before, but the practice one. And to be fair to my guests, Wendy and Chris, who have been so kind to be willing to do this project with me, a pilot. Like I'm learning what I'm doing as I go along. The first practice session we did, I forgot to do this part. So they have been able to kind of know what was coming until this, and I should have mentioned it, but I'm sorry, sort of.
Sort of.
That's okay.
Would you like to go first, Wendy?
Of course. I always want to go first. Right, Chris? This is called Rainbow. I'm not red or blue. I'm indigo, chartreuse, and vermilion. I care about the state of the Union, and I do what I can do. But I am well aware that there is very little that I can do. I enjoy the roof over my head, the ease of private transportation and electricity. Gluten makes me sick, and specialty foods, such as meat, are often above my pay grade. So I eat less because I'm upside down on my auto loan, but I can't let it go back to the bank because I have to get to work at the factory where I make lemonade.
Nice, Wendy.
Thank you.
One more time before I go to Chris. What is your website, Wendy?
My website is anecdotalbanana.com.
And people can find your books there, correct?
They can.
Perfect. Chris, would you mind reading us a poem?
Well, since we keep bringing up the Midwest, this one's called 5 a.m. on a Couch in Rural Indiana. Frigid fingers of wind slip through the cracked window behind my head, tickling the hairs on the back of my neck. I smell spring just around the corner, the way you could smell dinner from your room before Mom called you to eat. I ignore my neck growing colder, lost in the thought that some small part of this morning's wind could have blown through the years, collecting particles and cells from everything it touched. How many trips around the globe could it have made just to come through my window at this place and time, trading molecules of history for a little part of me? I turn to breathe in as much of the air as my lungs can hold and think, I'm inhaling tiny pieces of everyone I've ever loved, bits of people I've never known, and every single event that's happened in between. I'm shivering now, but open the window wider, allowing the world in to chill my coffee and numb my toes. It's 5 a.m., and the last of winter's wind is keeping me company on a couch in rural Indiana, and I am the least alone I will ever be.
Nice. And your website is going to be?
It's going to be magpiepoet.com, but you can actually find both of us at keepingtheflamealive.wordpress.com, along with downloadable PDFs of every issue of Keeping the Flame Alive that we have put out. So if you can't get to a local shop where we kind of litter the premises with them to pick up a free copy, you can still get a free copy.
Excellent. And I look forward to seeing you both very soon, April 24th, if not sooner. And thank you guys for being cool. Just so everybody watching knows, Keeping the Flame Alive has been very good to me. They have really given me a leg up, helping me with like build a web store and collaborated on some things. And I know that they have helped so many other artists too. And they're good people. So I think you guys should check out keepingtheflamealive.wordpress.com and send them some good luck and good vibes. And thanks for joining me, guys.
Thanks, Dan.
So,
thank you so much.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Chris.
Keeping the Flame Alive started as a seed in a maniacal poet's brain. That poet mentioned the idea to another maniacal poet, and here we are. We are a small press who prints submission-based magazines, chapbooks, bound books by writers all over the country. We develop websites, do graphic design, and organize readings and events. Find us on the interweb.